The issue of REDD is a very close issue to me because I do come from a forest village, and of course, being the chair of the UN Permanent Forum, indigenous peoples, most of which are the ones who save the forest and live in tropical rainforests, also are very much concerned about it. So it's an issue that's close to our hearts because it relates to our rights as well as our views on how development should take place in our communities. Well, of course, the first benefit should be the reduction of emissions from the atmosphere. Secondly, the conservation of standing forest, which will allow for all the ecosystem services that forests provide, and also allowing indigenous peoples whose cultures and identities are also linked with the forest to continue to survive. So I think those are the benefits that are there. And of course, if there is some incentive that's going to be given in terms of funds, then I think, and these are really channeled in the right way, they don't end up in the pockets of politicians, then it's going to be a workable arrangement. We will contribute to greenhouse gas emission reduction, and we will also contribute to enhancing alternative livelihoods for people so that they will not put a lot of pressure into the forest. Well, the big risks really are that because they want to carve out the forest as carbon sinks, they will displace the people who are really dependent on the forest. The participation, of people who have managed to conserve their forest, they have used their knowledge, they have governance systems which are really workable. These kinds of approaches will be totally disregarded, and the contribution of people who have been keeping the forest is going to be, it will not be factored in, and that's such a pity to waste that kind of resource and knowledge in relation to keeping the forest. The methodologies that they are going to use to design REDD are also not robust enough, so much so that the emissions that they claim they are reducing are not true, are not real. So it can be hot air. And then of course the other risk is that the forest, you are providing perverse incentives to those who have deforested, and you are going to give them a lot of money to stop that, which I think is a totally wrong way of approaching REDD. Those peoples in the ground who have fears about REDD, I will tell them to increase their knowledge about what REDD is and actively engage in the local, national, and global processes. I think that's the only way that they can really get rid of those fears. They have to be active players in the whole REDD scheme so that they themselves can determine how it will be designed, what the architecture will be, and whether they will be able to get benefits for their own selves.